Wait, why are we all running? Was there something I said? Oh, see, now you tripped. This is why you don't run. It's slippery. Look at the snow. Oh, it's because of that, isn't it? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Earth Defense Force 6. And that is definitely not good. Oh, hello. Can I help you? Yeah, we shoot bugs. We are definitely doing that. Away, Claymores! Do your thing. So if you've never seen this game before, this is a game all about shooting alien invaders that somehow decided to just make insects really big. It's a good thing they're not invading Australia, because I don't think they'd ever notice the difference. I might be thinking, why am I playing this game on the channel when it's got nothing to do with tanks? Well, that's where you're wrong, because we can drop in some things of our own. Don't drop it on my head. I said don't drop it on my head! You know what, it's probably fine. And there's a tank, which means we get to do a video game tank review. The EDF Blacker No. 6 tank seems to be based on a number of different real-life tanks, with the front of the turret seemingly inspired at least by the Leopard 2A5 or later models, and the front of the hull does seem to have that shape too, but the general layout of the tank seems to suggest that it is more likely based on the TKX or Type 90. Not surprisingly, that's a Japanese tank, which is where the game originates from, so taking inspiration from what they can see in real life definitely seems to make sense. As far as the armor protection seems to go, it is definitely capable of withstanding multiple blows from giant tanks and spiders, while it definitely does seem to be more vulnerable to its own weapons than it is to the enemies. Not a good combination of things to have, especially when the weapon you fire is an air-bursting dispersion mortar round that seems to be based on a canister round but with explosives built into it, and that definitely is not something that would actually work in real life, at least not with that particular gun caliber. And given that it's high explosive, it definitely shouldn't be as vulnerable to that kind of damage, especially when fired at a certain distance and not contacting against the armor. Either way, the tank is definitely a lot slower than it should be and not able to cross obstacles that really most tanks are generally capable of doing. In conclusion, with the very limited protection as well as the tendency to damage itself and its low mobility, meaning it definitely will get surrounded by enemies very, very quickly, especially the very fast moving worker ants, the Blacker No. 6 is definitely not a tank that you want to be in when you're surrounded by a giant alien insect, as its protection is just not up to par, and weirdly it does seem to be slightly too small. 3 out of 10. Alright, let's see what this does against the ants. And I'm gonna back up out of here. Reverse! Reverse! Ooh! Well, that's not what I thought that tank was going to do, actually. What is this, like a shotgun? It's like a canister round, but an explosive canister round. I like it. I've just noticed the ammo count. Yeah, we don't have a lot of rounds for this. That can be a problem. I'm slightly destroying the city, but I don't think that matters. Uh-oh. Don't roll it. Don't roll it. No. No. Ooh. So the Earth is hollow. Well, I recognize this is not an ideal situation, as the tank attempts to mate with the floor. It has given me an idea. We can self-right it. We'll ignore the physics of how that works, and the tank's totally fine. No, I genuinely don't think it's an ideal situation for anyone, with or without a tank, to be fighting giant ants. Turn, turret, turn. This is a very slow turning turret. And it's also not stabilized, which is definitely not what you want. You want something a little bit more stable when you're shooting on the move. But of course, the real question we're here to ask and answer is, how bulletproof are ants really? Which also means it's time for a video game ant armor review. Ants. Particularly larger carpenter ant species can be up to 2.5 centimeters long, and given that the EDF ant is approximately at minimum 7 meters long, that means the EDF ant is approximately 300 times larger than the ants that we have in real life. And given that an ant shell's thickness can be as much as 100 micrometers, or 0.1 of a millimeter, that means 300 times larger gives you an armor thickness of 30 millimeters, and chitin, or the material that the ant shell is typically made of, is generally accepted to be slightly stronger than steel for the similar weight, and using the square cube law, that would then result in an ant weighing about 225 kilograms. Not particularly heavy, but a lot heavier than you would like to have in your hand. And while most modular vehicle armor made from ballistic steel plating tends to be almost 50 millimeters thick just to stop 50 caliber rounds, although lighter composite armors can offer similar protection for less weight, it's possible that a 30 millimeter chitin shell would probably offer similar protection to the higher thickness of steel. Thus, in conclusion, EDF ants are definitely bulletproof to at least 7.62 NATO rounds, with the possibility of stopping a 50 cal. It's unlikely to withstand an autocannon round of 20mm or larger, and it definitely is not going to stop a 105 or 120 tank APF SDS round. So, bulletproof ants, 5 out of 10. But of course, in most situations, you wouldn't just abandon the tank when it's out of ammo. You would usually take it back to, I don't know, a fob or something to kind of, you know, reload it. Because tanks are reloadable. Although, I can totally understand not having it be done in the field. And I know that this is not what you would consider a realistic game, but the fact that the tank is actually a realistic size-ish, and the fact that it has a realistic ammo count is surprising. You know, it's only just occurred to me that this gun actually fires exploding bullets. Like, seriously, look at this. So I shoot this ant, and then the round explodes. That's an exploding bullet. Now, in terms of actual banned weapons, that's a war crime. Although I think we may have to make an exception, considering we're being invaded by giant ants. Alright, shoot the alien red bot. Red bit. Red hole. Yeah. It exploded. I'm sorry, did he just say, "Who's your daddy"? Of all the catchphrases, you know, in shooting down an alien spaceship, not the one I would have gone with. Alright, red smoke. Oh, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's Rheinmetall. They seem to be very interested in this radio tower. What is this, an Ubisoft game? As you might expect, the ants definitely don't like high explosive. Not very good guess, and not very appreciative. Then again, civilians don't like high explosive either, so I guess I can't really blame them. Oh wait, we're not supposed to be shooting the high explosive at the civilians, just near them. Because we're rescuing them. Don't worry, civilians, I'll save you. Are you saved? Oh look, you're definitely saved. Look at that. Oh, I only got 2 shots left. Gotta make them count. And we are out of here. I gotta be honest, the tank is not particularly fast. But it's times like that when you're out of your tank, when you kind of appreciate having a double javelin. Why kill him once when you could kill them twice? By the power of Raytheon. You know, it's times like that when I say things where I'm really glad the ants aren't a metaphor for something else. Otherwise, this would definitely come up in court at some point. So, in case the ICJ is watching, for legal reasons, this is a joke. Is it gonna hit? Is it gonna hit? Oh, it's taking a long time to go there. Come on! Lock on to the thing. I can't hit it with my rifle from here. Damn you, physics in Japanese games. You know, I don't think I brought the right weapons for this. It's definitely starting to feel that way. Which is why it's a good thing there's more than one class. And this is my favorite class, personally, because it can do this. Okay, that was slightly less impressive than I was expecting it to be, but we'll just go with it. Yes, this is the Air Raider. You can call in airstrikes. Because sometimes, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but sometimes the tank isn't the answer. Only sometimes. Also, those are not drones flying around, those are wing divers. They're women with jet engines strapped to their heads. I don't know how else to describe it, but that's basically what that is. Also, yes, the tactical panties are a requirement. I like how she said stay close and then just flies away. You know what? I can't do that. Right, good to see the ants are still a problem, but we do at least have AC-130 support. For all the good that does me. Also, before I continue, arachnophobia warning. Are you gone? Are you ready? Yes, those are jumping spiders. No, that is not normal. The main reason I took the Air Raider is for this. Oh, I'm sorry, did I hit you in the face there? Well, you better get moving. Yeah, that's definitely not a tank. I really don't know what this is based on. It's got the engines of a Viper, but the front end looks like a Comanche, and then it has those things. Did I mention this is a Japanese game? This shouldn't surprise me, but I've only just now noticed that this has limited fuel. It shouldn't surprise me, but it does. Okay, let's see ants deal with this. I may have dropped some napalm on them earlier. Okay, what's a little bit weird is the ants actually seem to be hitting me. I've actually taken damage somehow. Alright, let's see how they deal with napalm again. After a little while, it does start to feel a little unfair. But then again, if you had an ant infestation in your gun, what would you do? Yeah, you see, I don't think it's that different. I mean, the autocannons might be an issue if you have an HOA. They might not like that. The napalm's probably fine, though. Pretty sure the napalm's probably fine. I will say, it's very weird for a helicopter to drop bombs, but it's not impossible. I mean, I think the Soviets did that from a lot of their helicopters. Having very large autocannons mounted on the wings, that is definitely not normal. I've now just seen the fuel count, and I'm actually wondering what's gonna happen. I mean, we know what happens in helicopters normally when they run out of fuel, but I don't know what's gonna happen in this game. I mean, let's be honest, this is not a simulator by any stretch, so your guess is as good as mine. I mean, so far nothing. Oh, we are starting to fall down. Okay, yeah, that is kind of predictable, yeah. Hey, I landed it safely. Now that's something you didn't expect. I feel like that might have been a little bit overkill. It is good to see that this game has gotten with the times, because you have drones and stuff. In fact, there's a lot of drones in this. Oh, we might be in a little trouble here. This is not good. This is not safe. But I think we've definitely proven that tanks and helicopters are definitely superior to insects, no matter how big they get. But that is where I'm gonna leave that one there. That is Earth Defense Force 6. There's still plenty more to this game. This is a massive, massive game. There's plenty more to look at. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like. And of course, subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. My name is Panzer. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you next time.